Tokyo, a city where shadows walk among us. Welcome, dear viewers, to another spine-chilling episode of Whispers from the Shadows, your go-to channel for all things eerie and unsettling. Today we're diving deep into the heart of one of the most mesmerizing cities on Earth, Tokyo. Known for its neon-lit streets, bustling crowds, and cutting-edge technology, Tokyo is a place where modernity and tradition collide in dazzling harmony. But beneath its polished surface lies a darker side. A world steeped in ghostly legends, cursed locations, and haunted histories that have fascinated both locals and visitors for centuries. As Japan's capital, Tokyo isn't just a city, it's an experience. It's a labyrinth of contrasts, where ancient temples stand beside towering skyscrapers, and quiet residential neighborhoods hum with the energy of millions. Yet, this vibrant metropolis also harbors secrets, places where the veil between the living and the dead seems perilously thin. From abandoned hospitals to shadowy alleys, from sacred shrines to forgotten ruins, Tokyo's haunted locales are as diverse as they are terrifying. These sites whisper stories of tragedy, betrayal, and restless spirits who refuse to move on. In this episode, we'll take you on a journey through Tokyo's most haunted places, delving into their dark pasts and uncovering the chilling tales that make them infamous. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to be captivated by the supernatural side of this iconic city. So grab your headphones, dim the lights, and join us as we explore Tokyo's hidden horrors. But be warned, once you step into these haunted spaces, you may never see the city the same way again. The haunting echoes of Ikegami Honmanji Temple. Nestled in the serene Oda ward of Tokyo, the Ikegami Honmanji Temple stands as a testament to both spiritual devotion and spectral whispers. This revered Buddhist temple, founded in 1281, is a place where history breathes heavily, carrying with it the weight of countless souls who sought solace within its sacred grounds. Yet, beyond its tranquil facade, the temple harbors a legacy of sorrow and unrest that has given rise to some of Tokyo's most haunting tales. One of the most chilling stories associated with the Ikegami Honmanji revolves around the tragic death of Nichiren, the founder of Nichiren Buddhism, whose mortal remains were interred here. Devotees believe his spirit continues to wander the temple grounds, particularly during the annual Oshiki festival. Visitors have reported seeing a spectral figure clad in traditional robes walking solemnly through the temple gardens at night, his presence accompanied by a faint chanting that echoes eerily in the stillness. Some claim that these apparitions are not merely remnants of the past but manifestations of unresolved grief, seeking peace for those who once followed Nichiren's teachings. The temple's cemetery, an expansive sea of stone markers and moss-covered graves, is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Locals speak of hearing disembodied voices emanating from the tombstones, whispers that seem to recount prayers or pleadings in languages long forgotten. One particularly harrowing account comes from a group of tourists who visited the cemetery after dusk. They described feeling an overwhelming sense of dread as they approached a cluster of weathered monuments, only to witness what appeared to be shadowy figures rising from the ground. The air grew unnaturally cold, and their flashlights flickered before going out entirely. Terrified, they fled the scene, leaving behind unanswered questions about the entities that dwell among the dead. Even the temple's main hall, a majestic structure adorned with intricate carvings and gold accents, has its share of ghostly lore. Priests stationed there over the years have recounted strange occurrences, such as the sound of footsteps echoing down empty corridors late at night or the faint scent of incense wafting through rooms where no rituals are being performed. More disturbingly, several monks have reported glimpsing a pale, translucent woman standing near the altar, her eyes filled with sorrow. She vanishes without a trace when approached, leaving behind only a lingering sense of unease. What makes Ikegami Honmanji truly unique is how seamlessly its haunting legends intertwine with its religious significance. Unlike many other haunted sites in Tokyo, the temple does not shy away from its spectral reputation. Instead, it embraces the stories as part of its enduring mystique, drawing pilgrims and thrill-seekers alike. For some, the eerie encounters serve as reminders of life's impermanence and the importance of finding closure, while for others, they remain unsolved mysteries waiting to be unraveled. As we delve deeper into Tokyo's haunted landscape, the spectral allure of Ikegami Honmanji offers a glimpse into a world where faith and fear coexist, creating an atmosphere both reverent and unsettling. It is here, amidst the ancient stones and whispered prayers, that the boundary between the living and the dead feels thinnest, inviting us to ponder the unseen forces that linger in the shadows. The cursed halls of Sugamo Prison. Deep within the northern reaches of Tokyo lies Sugamo Prison, a place often referred to as the Gates of Hell by those who dare whisper its name. Originally built in 1929, this formidable institution was designed to house some of Japan's most notorious criminals. However, it soon became infamous not only for its high security measures but also for the chilling events that unfolded within its grim walls. Sugamo Prison gained notoriety during World War II, serving as a detention center for political prisoners and war criminals. The conditions inside were reportedly brutal, with inmates subjected to severe torture and inhumane treatment. It is said that the despair and suffering permeated the very bricks and mortar, leaving an indelible mark on the prison's soul. As the war ended, the prison transitioned into a holding facility for Japanese war criminals awaiting trial by the Allied forces. The execution chamber, where many met their grim fate, became a focal point of supernatural occurrences. Local legends abound about the spirits that haunt Sugamo Prison. Former guards and inmates have recounted eerie experiences, describing phantom footsteps echoing through empty corridors and ghostly apparitions lurking in the shadows. One particularly haunting tale involves a guard who claimed to have seen a line of spectral figures, dressed in tattered prison uniforms, marching silently towards the now-defunct execution room. These phantoms are believed to be the restless souls of executed prisoners, forever trapped in a limbo of torment and regret. The prison's basement, known ominously as the Pit, is rumored to be the epicenter of its hauntings. Stories tell of a malevolent entity that resides there, feeding off the anguish of those imprisoned. Reports describe sudden drops in temperature, disembodied screams, and an oppressive atmosphere so thick it can be felt pressing against the skin. Psychics who have visited the site report overwhelming feelings of dread and visions of violent scenes replaying endlessly. Despite its closure in 1971, Sugamo Prison continues to cast a long, dark shadow over Tokyo. Urban explorers and paranormal investigators frequently attempt to breach its decaying halls, drawn by the promise of encountering the supernatural. Videos captured within the prison often show inexplicable phenomena: flickering lights, shadowy figures darting across the frame, and audio recordings filled with unexplained whispers and cries. For those brave enough to delve into the haunted history of Sugamo Prison, the experience is nothing short of bone-chilling. It stands as a stark reminder of the past atrocities committed within its walls and the spectral legacy that refuses to fade. As we continue our exploration of Tokyo's most haunted places, Sugamo Prison serves as a haunting monument to the thin veil between justice and vengeance, life and death, reality and nightmare. The ghostly tunnels beneath Akasaka Mitsuku Station. Beneath the bustling streets of Tokyo, where the neon lights barely penetrate the earth, lies a network of tunnels that snake under the Akasaka Mitsuku Station. These subterranean passages, initially constructed during the rapid expansion of Tokyo's subway system in the early 20th century, have become infamous for their eerie ambience and spine-tingling tales of ghostly apparitions. Locals refer to these tunnels as the Whispering Veins, a name that hints at the unsettling murmurs often heard by transit workers and late-night travelers daring enough to traverse these underground routes. The legend of the Akasaka Mitsuku tunnels begins with the construction phase, marred by numerous accidents and unexplained disappearances. Workers spoke of feeling watched by unseen eyes and hearing faint, mournful cries echoing through the unfinished tunnels. Over time, these stories evolved into full-blown urban legends, each more chilling than the last. One popular tale recounts a maintenance worker who, during a routine inspection in the 1960s, encountered a pale, translucent figure walking towards him. The figure, clad in outdated railway attire, vanished into thin air as he tried to approach it. Since then, sightings of this spectral railway worker have been sporadically reported, often accompanied by the sound of ghostly trains passing through the tunnels, though none are scheduled. Another haunting narrative tied to these tunnels is that of the lost commuter. According to local lore, a businessman missed his train home one evening and decided to take a shortcut through the less traveled parts of the station. He was never seen again, but his briefcase was found weeks later in a section of the tunnel that had been sealed off for decades. Security footage reviewed afterward showed shadowy figures moving in the background, and the tape ended abruptly with a blood-curdling scream. The incident sparked widespread panic, leading to increased security measures and restricted access to certain areas of the tunnels. Psychic investigators and paranormal enthusiasts have long been drawn to the Akasaka tunnels, lured by the promise of supernatural encounters. Sessions conducted by mediums have revealed chilling insights. Visions of trapped souls reliving their final moments, unable to find peace. The psychic energy in these tunnels is palpable, often overwhelming even seasoned investigators. Equipment malfunctions are common, with cameras capturing distorted images and audio devices picking up indecipherable whispers that send chills down the spines of those who listen. Adding to the mystery, local historians suggest that parts of the tunnel network might intersect with ancient burial grounds disrupted during the station's construction. This theory provides a macabre explanation for the restless spirits said to haunt the area, bound to the earthly realm by unfinished business or wrongful deaths. The convergence of old and new, of living commuters and spectral echoes, creates a haunting juxtaposition that defines the Akasaka tunnels as one of Tokyo's most enigmatic and terrifying locales. As we delve deeper into Tokyo's haunted underworld, the Akasaka tunnels stand as a testament to the city's layered history and its ability to harbor secrets in plain sight. Here, beneath the feet of millions, lies a domain where the past refuses to rest, and the lines between reality and the supernatural blur intriguingly. The enigmatic Edo Castle ruins amidst the sprawling urban expanse of Tokyo. The remnants of Edo Castle stand as silent witnesses to a tumultuous past, shrouded in both historical grandeur and spectral mystery. Once the seat of power for the Tokugawa shogunate, which ruled Japan for over 2 centuries, Edo Castle is now largely in ruins, its massive stone walls and moats enveloped by the verdant east gardens of the imperial palace. While the castle itself is a marvel of ancient architecture, it is the legends surrounding its haunted history that draw the curious and the brave to its shadowy corners. Constructed in the early 15th century, Edo Castle was not only a fortress but also a symbol of authority and control. However, its majestic towers and imposing gates witnessed numerous battles, betrayals, and tragedies throughout the feudal era. One of the most pervasive ghost stories linked to the castle is that of Lady Kasuga, a concubine of Tokugawa Iemitsu, the third shogun. According to legend, Lady Kasuga was falsely accused of treason and subsequently executed within the castle walls. Her spirit, wrongfully condemned, is said to roam the ruins, searching for justice and redemption. Visitors have reported sightings of a graceful female figure in traditional kimono, her face obscured by a delicate veil, wandering aimlessly among the ancient stones. The castle's Fushimi Yagura watchtower, one of the few original structures still standing, is another hotspot of paranormal activity. Tales speak of soldiers who lost their lives defending the castle during the Meiji Restoration, their restless spirits unable to leave the battlefield. Night guards and gardeners working in the vicinity have recounted eerie encounters, including the sound of clashing swords and anguished cries piercing the silence of the night. Some even claim to have seen spectral warriors, clad in armor, patrolling the ramparts as if ready to defend the castle once more. Moreover, the castle's vast underground network, used historically for secret meetings and escape routes, adds another layer of mystery to its haunted reputation. Urban explorers and historians have ventured into these subterranean passages, only to emerge with tales of inexplicable phenomena. Disorienting feelings, sudden chills, and the sensation of being watched are commonly reported. In one chilling account, a group of archaeologists exploring the tunnels described hearing soft whispers guiding them further into the darkness, only to find themselves inexplicably turned around, facing the entrance they had just passed. Edo Castle's haunting allure lies not just in its ghost stories, but in its ability to evoke a tangible connection to Japan's feudal past. The ruins serve as a portal to a bygone era, where the echoes of history and the whispers of the dead intertwine seamlessly. As twilight descends and the shadows lengthen, the castle transforms into a realm where the veil between the living and the spectral grows thin, inviting those who dare to tread its haunted grounds to unravel the mysteries hidden within its storied walls. The enigmatic Edo Castle ruins amidst the sprawling urban expanse of Tokyo. The remnants of Edo Castle stand as silent witnesses to a tumultuous past, shrouded in both historical grandeur and spectral mystery. Once the seat of power for the Tokugawa shogunate, which ruled Japan for over 2 centuries, Edo Castle is now largely in ruins, its massive stone walls and moats enveloped by the verdant east gardens of the imperial palace. While the castle itself is a marvel of ancient architecture, It is the legends surrounding its haunted history that draw the curious and the brave to its shadowy corners. Constructed in the early 15th century, Edo Castle was not only a fortress but also a symbol of authority and control. However, its majestic towers and imposing gates witnessed numerous battles, betrayals, and tragedies throughout the feudal era. One of the most pervasive ghost stories linked to the castle is that of Lady Kasuga, a concubine of Tokugawa Iemitsu, the third shogun. According to legend, Lady Kasuga was falsely accused of treason and subsequently executed within the castle walls. Her spirit, wrongfully condemned, is said to roam the ruins, searching for justice and redemption. Visitors have reported sightings of a graceful female figure in traditional kimono, her face obscured by a delicate veil, wandering aimlessly among the ancient stones. The castle's Fushimi Yagura watchtower, one of the few original structures still standing, is another hotspot of paranormal activity. Tales speak of soldiers who lost their lives defending the castle during the Meiji Restoration, their restless spirits unable to leave the battlefield. Night guards and gardeners working in the vicinity have recounted eerie encounters, including the sound of clashing swords and anguished cries piercing the silence of the night. Some even claim to have seen spectral warriors, clad in armor, patrolling the ramparts as if ready to defend the castle once more. Moreover, the castle's vast underground network, used historically for secret meetings and escape routes, adds another layer of mystery to its haunted reputation. Urban explorers and historians have ventured into these subterranean passages, only to emerge with tales of inexplicable phenomena. Disorienting feelings, sudden chills, and the sensation of being watched are commonly reported. In one chilling account, a group of archaeologists exploring the tunnels described hearing soft whispers guiding them further into the darkness, only to find themselves inexplicably turned around, facing the entrance they had just passed. Edo Castle's haunting allure lies not just in its ghost stories, but in its ability to evoke a tangible connection to Japan's feudal past. The ruins serve as a portal to a bygone era, where the echoes of history and the whispers of the dead intertwine seamlessly. As twilight descends and the shadows lengthen, the castle transforms into a realm where the veil between the living and the spectral grows thin, inviting those who dare to tread its haunted grounds to unravel the mysteries hidden within its storied walls. The phantom whispers of Yanaka Cemetery. Tucked away in the quieter neighborhoods of Tokyo lies Yanaka Cemetery, a sprawling necropolis that serves as the eternal resting place for over 7,000 souls. Established in the late 19th century, this historic burial ground is renowned not only for its serene beauty, but also for the eerie tales that have woven themselves into its very fabric. Often referred to as the Garden of Ghosts by locals, Yanaka Cemetery has long been a magnet for those seeking encounters with the supernatural. Its tranquil pathways and weathered tombstones concealing stories of tragedy, loss, and restless spirits point. One of the most enduring legends tied to Yanaka Cemetery revolves around a young woman named Aiko, whose grave is said to be cursed. According to folklore, Aiko fell victim to a forbidden love affair during the Meiji era, a relationship that ended in betrayal and her untimely death. Locals claim that her spirit, consumed by heartbreak and rage, roams the cemetery at night, her ethereal form illuminated by the faint glow of lanterns she carries. Visitors have reported seeing her apparition gliding silently between the tombstones, her mournful wails echoing through the stillness. Those who linger too long near her grave often describe feeling an inexplicable chill, as though icy fingers brush against their skin. The cemetery's infamous Path of Lanterns is another hotspot for paranormal activity. This narrow trail, lined with hundreds of stone lanterns donated by grieving families, is said to come alive after dark. Witnesses recount seeing the lanterns flicker and dim without explanation, casting eerie shadows that dance across the ground. Some have even claimed to hear whispers emanating from the lanterns themselves, soft murmurs believed to be the voices of the departed attempting to communicate with the living. One particularly chilling account describes a visitor who, while walking along the path, felt an invisible hand grasp their wrist, compelling them to stop in their tracks. When they turned to look, they saw a procession of shadowy figures moving toward the cemetery's oldest mausoleum, their forms dissolving into mist as they disappeared from view. Perhaps the most spine-tingling story associated with Yanaka Cemetery is that of the Crying Tombstone. Nestled in a secluded corner of the graveyard, this particular tombstone is said to emit a low, sobbing sound when approached. Local legend attributes the phenomenon to a mother who lost her child during World War II and buried the infant here. Her grief was so profound that it imprinted itself onto the stone, causing it to weep whenever someone pays their respects. Paranormal investigators who have visited the site report recording audio evidence of the crying sounds, which cease abruptly when anyone attempts to touch the tombstone. Yanaka Cemetery's haunting reputation extends beyond its individual stories, as the entire grounds seem imbued with an otherworldly energy. Psychics and mediums who have explored the cemetery describe it as a place where the boundaries between worlds blur, allowing the spirits of the deceased to linger longer than usual. Many visitors report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness or unease while walking through the cemetery, as though the collective sorrow of those buried there lingers in the air. Others have captured photographs showing orbs of light hovering near the graves, believed to be manifestations of lingering spirits despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure. Yanaka Cemetery remains a popular destination for both locals and tourists. During the day, it offers a peaceful retreat from the chaos of Tokyo, its tree-lined paths and blooming cherry blossoms providing a picturesque backdrop for reflection. But as night falls, the atmosphere transforms, revealing a darker side to this otherwise tranquil sanctuary. For those brave enough to venture into its depths after sundown, Yanaka Cemetery promises an unforgettable encounter with the supernatural, a place where the dead refuse to rest and the living tread cautiously, lest they disturb the slumbering spirits within. The haunted streets, Kodokan and beyond. In the labyrinthine alleys of Tokyo, where the neon lights cast long dancing shadows, lies a district steeped in spectral lore. Kodokan, known primarily for its historical significance as the birthplace of judo, this area harbors a darker, less celebrated history that whispers through its narrow streets and aged buildings. Kodokan, with its blend of traditional wooden houses and modern structures, serves as a perfect backdrop for tales of the supernatural that have seeped into the consciousness of its residents. One of the most talked about hauntings in Kodokan involves a series of old, dilapidated houses that line a particular backstreet. Locals speak in hushed tones about the lady in red, a ghostly figure seen gliding through the alleyways at night. Dressed in a flowing red kimono, her face obscured by the folds of her garment, she appears to be searching for something, or someone. Witnesses report a chilling sensation as she passes, a drop in temperature that leaves frost on their breath. The origins of her haunting are shrouded in mystery, though some say she was a geisha betrayed by her lover, doomed to walk the streets eternally in search of closure. Not far from these haunted houses, an old bookstore stands, its shelves laden with dusty volumes that seem to rearrange themselves overnight. Patrons of the store have reported books falling from shelves without cause and pages flipping wildly, as if caught in an unseen wind. The owner, an elderly man who inherited the shop from his ancestors, speaks of a former librarian who died tragically within its walls. Her spirit, he believes, guards the knowledge contained therein, ensuring that no book leaves its rightful place without permission. Those who disrespect the sanctity of the books often find themselves plagued by misfortune, adding a layer of superstition to the already eerie atmosphere. As one ventures further into the heart of Kodokan, the stories grow darker, almost sinister. A small, unassuming cafe tucked away in a corner of the district has earned a reputation for being a conduit for ghostly encounters. Patrons seated at the last table by the window have reported seeing reflections of people in the glass who aren't present in the room. These apparitions, varying in appearance from period-dressed individuals to shadowy figures, seem to acknowledge the living with nods or waves before fading into the ether. The cafe's owner, a stoic woman with piercing eyes, neither confirms nor denies these tales, instead offering cryptic smiles to those who inquire. These narratives, woven into the very fabric of Kodokan, paint a picture of a neighborhood where the past and present collide in spectral fashion. Each street corner, each shadowy alcove holds the potential for an encounter with the unknown. As the sun sets and the district is bathed in the soft glow of street lamps, the boundary between the mundane and the mystical blurs, inviting those brave enough to explore the haunted streets of Kodokan to step into a world where every whisper could be a ghost trying to tell its tale. Echoes of the unseen. Tokyo's haunted legacy. As we bring this chilling journey through Tokyo's most haunted places to a close, it becomes clear that the city's spectral history is far more than just a collection of ghost stories. It is a tapestry woven with threads of tragedy, resilience, and the unyielding passage of time. From the shadowy corridors of Sugamo Prison to the whispering tunnels beneath Akasaka Mitsuki Station, and from the solemn grounds of Edo Castle to the mournful paths of Yanaka Cemetery, each location carries with it a profound sense of interconnectedness between the past and the present. These haunted sites are not mere relics of bygone eras. They are living monuments to the human experience, where joy, sorrow, betrayal, and redemption converge in ways that transcend the boundaries of life and death. The recurring themes of unresolved grief, lingering guilt, and the search for justice resonate deeply across these tales. Spirits like Lady Kasuga of Edo Castle and the Lady in Red of Kodokan embody the timeless struggle of the human soul to find peace in the aftermath of tragedy. Similarly, the spectral echoes of prisoners and soldiers trapped in Sugamo Prison and Akasaka Mitsuki Station remind us that even in death, the burdens of the living world can weigh heavily on those who cannot let go. These stories force us to confront uncomfortable truths about mortality, morality, and the impact of our actions on others, even beyond the grave. But perhaps the most striking aspect of Tokyo's haunted legacy is its ability to blur the lines between fact and fiction, history and myth. The city's haunted places are not isolated anomalies. They are deeply embedded in its cultural, social, and spiritual fabric. For centuries, Japanese folklore has embraced the existence of spirits, or eerie, as an integral part of life. This acceptance of the supernatural allows these haunted sites to exist not as mere curiosities, but as sacred spaces where the past continues to shape the present. Whether through the mournful cries of Aiko in Yanaka Cemetery or the phantom whispers of the Kodokan bookstore, these locations challenge us to reconsider our understanding of reality and the unseen forces that may influence it. Ultimately, Tokyo's haunted places serve as poignant reminders of the fragility of human existence and the enduring power of memory. They invite us to reflect on the legacies we leave behind and the ways in which our stories, both joyful and sorrowful, are etched into the landscapes we inhabit. As modern Tokyo races forward into the future, these spectral landmarks stand as steadfast witnesses to the city's rich, complex history, urging us to pause and listen to the echoes of those who came before. In doing so, they ensure that the voices of the past will never be silenced, even as the city evolves around them. Farewell from the shadows. Until our next encounter, and so, dear viewers, we reach the end of another spine-tingling episode of Whispers from the Shadows. As we bid farewell to the haunted streets of Tokyo, we hope this journey has left you with a newfound appreciation for the city's spectral wonders, and perhaps a few goosebumps along the way. Tokyo, with its dazzling lights and timeless traditions, proves that even the most modern metropolises can harbor secrets best left undisturbed. Its haunted places remind us that history doesn't always stay buried, and sometimes, the past has a way of reaching out to remind us of its presence. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Tokyo's eerie underbelly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support helps keep this channel thriving, and trust me, there are plenty more haunted tales waiting to be uncovered, from ghostly forests to cursed castles. Be sure to leave a comment below telling us which of Tokyo's haunted spots gave you the biggest chill, or if you've experienced any supernatural encounters of your own. Sharing your stories keeps the conversation alive and connects us all in the pursuit of the unknown. Before you go, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member or tossing a few coins into the tip jar. Every contribution goes directly toward bringing you higher quality content and exploring even darker corners of the world's most mysterious places. And while you're at it, why not share this video with your friends? After all, the more people who know about these haunted legends, the better prepared we'll all be when the shadows start to stir. Thank you for joining us on this haunting expedition through Tokyo's most chilling locales. Remember, the next time you find yourself wandering the streets of this vibrant city, keep an eye on the shadows, and maybe, just maybe, you'll catch a glimpse of something extraordinary. Until then, stay curious, stay brave, and above all, stay safe. Good night and sweet nightmares.